Have you ever wondered why a work written hundreds of years ago, Journey to the West, still captivates us so deeply today? Is it because of the Monkey King's spectacular battles, or his boundless magical transformations? The truth is far more profound. Right from the opening chapter of Journey to the West, the tale of deliverance from suffering, Wu Chang left behind a monumental code. To truly understand Journey to the West is to understand the very nature of human suffering and the entire arc of your own life. Many people mistake it for nothing more than a mythical fantasy meant for entertainment. In reality, it may be one of the greatest manuals on personal mastery ever written. The battles against demons are not simply about vanquishing evil. They are a symbolic journey of peeling away layer after layer of the inner demons of the mind in order to return to genuine awakening. Look again, and you'll realize that Tang Monk, Sun Wukong, Zhu Baji, Sha Wujing, and the White Dragon Horse are not 5 separate beings at all. They are 5 fragments of a single, complete human being walking the path of cultivation. Sun Wukong represents the mind restless, volatile, endlessly transforming. Tang Monk embodies the body, a mortal vessel, fragile yet driven by a noble purpose. Zhu Baji is sexual desire and primal craving. Sha Wujing reflects our simple, honest nature. And the White Dragon Horse is steadfast willpower, carrying us forward and keeping us on the right path. The long, perilous journey to retrieve the scriptures is nothing more than a grand metaphor for the process of self-discipline in this world. Every step taken by the pilgrims mirrors a moment when we confront the darker corners within ourselves. If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever struggled with temptation or your own anger, then these philosophies are meant for you. They serve as a compass when the path feels unclear. Together, we will decode the deepest symbols Wu Chang'an embedded in this timeless story and discover that Mount Ling is not some distant place. It exists within your own heart, revealed only when the inner demons have been subdued. Welcome to Travel Story. What you've just heard today is not meant for entertainment. It is part of something much larger, a map for decoding humanity, history, and yourself. Subscribe to this channel, not to see more, but to understand more deeply. Have you ever wondered why Tang Monk appears so fragile, while Sun Wukong is unrivaled and powered, yet in the end, the Monkey King still bows his head to serve a mere mortal of flesh and blood? That is because Wu Chang was never writing about 5 pilgrims on a journey for scriptures. He was writing about the process of completion of a single being. You peel away the mythological shell, and what emerges is a breathtakingly precise architecture of the human self. Tang Monk represents the body, the bare, mortal vessel we inhabit. This body may carry a great vow, a noble aspiration, but it is also painfully fragile, easily wounded by the collisions of life, and constantly in need of protection. Yet the body can never reach the destination alone. It requires a mind strong enough to lead the way. That mind is none other than Sun Wukong. Why does Wukong possess 72 transformations? Because the human mind itself is endlessly mutable. In one instant, it can soar to the heavens. In the next, it can plunge straight into the abyss. The mind is our most powerful source of energy, but without restraint. Without the tightening band of discipline, it becomes a wild mind, wreaking havoc across the heavenly palace. But a human being is not made of body and mind alone. We also carry primal desire. This is Zhu Baji. He embodies sexuality, indulgence, laziness, and the raw appetites that forever tug at our heels, just as we try to move forward. Beside him walks Sha Wujing, the symbol of nature, the part of us that is quiet, patient, dependable, willing to endure hardship without complaint, yet sometimes lacking creativity and flexibility. And finally, for this entire journey not to collapse halfway, there must be the White Dragon Horse, the embodiment of willpower. Will is the most enduring vehicle of all. It carries the body through wind, frost and endless miles, pressing onward without surrender. When the author brings together these 5 elements: body, mind, desire, nature, and will, he creates the most complete formation for human cultivation. If mind and will are not aligned, we become like a wild horse without a rein, running endlessly, yet never reaching truth. But when all 5 move in unity toward a single aim, every demon encountered along life's road becomes nothing more than a trial designed to temper and harden who we are. This is not a journey to retrieve ancient scriptures from a distant land. It is the journey of reuniting the fractured parts within and becoming a whole human being at last. Now, let us look closely at the most central figure of all, the one in whom every one of us can see our own reflection: Sun Wukong. Why did Wuchang have Wukong born from a stone, then cross the seas in search of the way at Spirit Platform, Square Inch Mountain, within the cave of the slanted moon and 3 stars? If you look carefully at this name, a fascinating secret reveals itself. In classical Chinese, the character for Heart Mind Shin is composed of a curved hook resembling a crescent moon, topped by 3 dots. This is a direct visual metaphor for slanted moon, 3 stars. From the very beginning, the author is quietly declaring something profound. Sun Wukong is a disciple of the mind and also the living embodiment of the human mind itself. And this mind has one defining trait: it is restless. It never stays still. It transforms endlessly. In the Regama there is mention of 72 manifestations of the mind. Strikingly, Sun Wukong possesses exactly 72 transformations. This mirrors reality with uncanny precision. Our minds are infinitely changeable. In a single instant, they can soar to the heavens only to plunge straight into hell the next. They shift ceaselessly between good and evil, clarity and delusion. But the mind needs an instrument through which its power can be expressed. That instrument is the Ruji Jinggu Bangda compliant golden hooped staff. There is a detail few people ever notice. The staff weighs exactly 13,500 jin. According to ancient medical texts such as the Wangdi Neijing, the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon. This number corresponds to the average number of breaths a human takes in a single day and night. So the staff is not merely a mythical weapon. It is a symbol of ki breath, vital energy, life force itself. When ki is abundant and unleashed, the staff can grow so vast that it stirs the oceans and pierces the heavens. But when precision and focus are required, it can shrink to the size of a needle, hidden quietly behind the ear. The lesson is clear. Whoever masters their breath and harmonizes their inner energy gains the power to command the mind itself. Even Sun Wukong's imprisonment inside the 8 trigrams furnace of the Supreme Elder Lord carries a deeper meaning of cultivation. The raging flames did not destroy him. Instead, they tempered him, forging his fiery golden eyes. In life, the harshest pressures and most brutal trials are not always meant to break us. Sometimes, they exist to refine our vision, to grant us the clarity to see through illusion, deception, and false appearances, and perceive the true nature of things. Yet no matter how powerful a mind may be, if it remains arrogant, running wild on instinct without guidance, it will inevitably encounter a greater force. One that exists not to crush it, but to tame it, discipline it, and place it within proper bounds. And thus begins the true journey of awakening. Why is it that a monkey can somersault once and travel 108,000 miles, yet still cannot escape a single palm and is then imprisoned beneath a mountain of stone for 500 years? In truth, 5 Elements Mountain is not merely rock and earth. It symbolizes the secular world itself, where the 5 elements metal, wood, water, fire, and earth press down upon an untamed mind. The Buddha explains that these 5 mountains are the manifestations of the 5 greatest poisons within every human being: greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt. When Sun Wukong wreaks havoc in heaven, no matter how vast his supernatural powers, he remains trapped by these 5 poisons. That is why he can never escape the Buddha's palm, because enlightenment has not yet truly occurred. Look at real life. How many of us believe we have seen through the world, only to find ourselves still ensnared by fame, profit, and pride? That is the moment we are pinned beneath our own 5 elements mountain. To break free, the mind requires iron discipline, and this is why the golden headband appears. The mind-stabilizing mantra that Temp's monk recites whenever Wukong strays is not mere punishment. It is a tool to restrain the restless mind, to make it ache, to make it reflect, and through that pain, return to alignment. And notice this detail. The very moment Wukong is released from the mountain, his first act is to kill 6 bandits on the road. In the original text, their names are no coincidence. Eyes seeing joy, ears hearing, anger nose, smelling attachment tongue tasting. Obsession, body feeling, anxiety mind giving rise to desire, these 6 bandits represent the 6 roots of human perception. Wukong's act of destroying them symbolizes the purification of the 6 roots, the fundamental prerequisite for walking the path of cultivation. Only when the eyes are no longer blinded by beauty and the ears no longer shaken by flattery or rage, do we truly earn the right to begin the journey for truth. That journey only truly gains momentum with the arrival of the white dragon horse, the embodiment of willpower. One leap of Sun Wukong spans 108,000 miles, the exact distance to Mount Ling. This tells us something crucial. Mount Ling is not far away at all. It is only one thought away. If mind and will are unified, anchored to a single unwavering aim, then there is no place that cannot be reached. Yet to keep that mind pure across 10,000 miles, one must still confront the countless disguises of desire, each more subtle, each more deceptive than the last. And that is where the real trials begin. Have you ever wondered why, on the road to the Western Heaven, Tang monk and his disciples encounter so many demons? In truth, not a single one of those monsters comes from the outside. Every creature they face is an allegory, a manifestation of the inner demons lurking deep within each of us. The pilgrimage for the scriptures is nothing less than using the human process of confronting and dismantling these inner obstacles step by step on the path toward awakening. Take the black bear demon, the one who steals the sacred cassock. He does not appear by accident. He emerges precisely after Sun Wukong, driven by anger and pride, burns down Guanyin's meditation monastery. The lesson is clear. When rage and arrogance take the lead, we give birth to the very monsters that block our own progress. Or consider the Bull Demon King, Wukong's sworn brother. He is, in essence, another projection of Wukong's own mind. The battle against the Bull Demon King is an internal struggler, violent tug-of-war with oneself. Even the inferno of Flaming Mountain traces back to a brick Wukong once kicked loose from the 8 trigrams furnace. It is the price we pay for past mistakes and uncontrolled temper. Our present suffering often has roots in yesterday's recklessness. Then there is Red Boy, the embodiment of vengeful fire. He reminds us that living in hatred ultimately burns only our own hearts to ashes. Yet Red Boy also symbolizes the child's pure heart, the innocence we must protect, so that worldly ambition does not scorch away our original sincerity. When we face White-Bone Spirit, we see the danger of human-shaped masks. Her 3 transformations represent layered forms of desire and emotional attachment forces capable of provoking the lowest instincts, as they do in Jubaji, and of eroding trust in our most loyal companions. This is what leads Tang monk to drive Sun Wukong away. Desire does not merely tempt, it divides and blinds. The author weaves equally subtle metaphors about material obsession through the Golden Horn and Silver Horn Kings, who bind Wukong with golden ropes and trap him in a golden gourd. This is the power of wealth, capable of restraining the mind, tightening its grip, and making escape from temptation exceedingly difficult. Then come the 7 spider spirits, embodiments of the 7 emotions and 6 desires, and the scorpion spirit, symbolizing the intoxicating lure of physical beauty. Together, they form a tightening web, one in which humans so easily stumble and lose their way. Once you see this, every battle and journey to the West ceases to be mere mythology. It becomes a profound psychological dissection, one that teaches us how to recognize, confront, and ultimately master our desires and emotions, so that we may draw closer to the far shore of awakening. As the journey draws closer to Mount Ling, the trials are no longer crude, visible demons. They become subtler, more penetrating, aimed directly at the coherence of our own thinking. You surely remember the ordeal of the true and false Monkey King, where a being appears identical to Sun Wukong in both appearance and power. This was never a contest of strength. It was a confrontation between two wills within the same person, what Buddhism calls the dual mind. One is the sincere mind oriented toward awakening. The other is the arrogant, reckless mind that seeks power without genuine cultivation, according to traditional interpretations. This calamity arises from the inner demons of all four disciples: Wukong's self-intoxicated pride, Tang Monk's confused inability to discern truth from illusion, and the jealousy and suspicion harbored by Zhu, Baji, and Sha Wujing. To succeed on the path of life, we are forced to destroy this second mind. Only when distraction is eliminated and we reach a state of single-pointed focus do we truly possess the strength to move forward. Yet the pinnacle of cultivation is revealed in the figure of Nine-Spirit Primordial Saint, the nine-headed lion who can subdue even Sun Wukong in an instant. Why does a demon bear the title of Saint Tand wield such overwhelming power? Because those 9 heads symbolize the 9 reflections of the noble person known in Confucian teaching as the 9 thoughts. They describe a state in which, when seeing, one perceives true essence rather than being blinded by appearances. When hearing, one discerns right from wrong, unmoved by external noise. One's expression remains calm and balanced across all emotions. One's conduct is always rooted in reverence and respect. Such a person speaks with honesty, without deception, acts with full dedication and sincerity, never stops learning, never hesitates to humble themselves in the pursuit of growth. When anger arises, they contemplate consequences before acting. And when standing before profit, they place righteousness above gain. A Sun Wukong who represents the untamed mind of ordinary humanity can never defeat an existence that has fully mastered these 9 streams of thought. Even the episode in the kingdom of Bikaware Wukong tears open his body to reveal a chaotic pile of hearts is a powerful metaphor. It speaks of shedding fragmented intentions and returning to inner unity. When a person harbors too many scattered desires and wandering thoughts, calamity is inevitable. Only by gathering these divided minds into one integrated whole can we finally reach the ultimate destination. And that, perhaps, is the final lesson of the journey. Enlightenment is not about going farther, but about becoming one. After 18 long years and 81 trials, Tang Monk and his disciples finally arrive at the summit of Mount Ling. But here's the truth. Mount Ling is not a physical place on any map, to exist within a single moment of awareness inside our own minds. The distance of 108,000 miles is exactly one somersault of Sun Wukong. That detail tells us something profound. When the mind awakens and turns toward goodness, liberation is only a single turn of thought away. When a person has overcome destructive habits and uprooted every inner demon blocking the path, that is the moment they touch the Buddha realm right in the middle of ordinary life. There is an especially powerful moment when the pilgrims receive the wordless scriptures. Known as the scriptures without words, many assume this was a deception by the scripture keepers. But in truth, these are the greatest teachings of all. Wu Chang'an embedded a deep philosophy here. The word scripture does not only mean sacred text, it also means lived experience. Everything the pilgrims endured across 10,000 miles, the sweat, the tears, the pain, and the hard-earned lessons, that is the real scripture. It transforms a life far more deeply than any dry words written on paper. If, after weathering every storm this world can offer, you can still preserve a sincere and steadfast heart, then even without reaching the Western heaven, your heart has already become Buddha long ago. At the end of the journey, every fragment of the human self receives its rightful fruition. The mind is crowned victorious, fighting Buddha, reminding us that the greatest victory in life is victory over oneself. The body becomes sandalwood merit, Buddha honored for endurance and unwavering perseverance. The desire of Jubaji cannot be erased, so it is transformed and appointed altar-purifying messenger, allowing raw energy to be channeled constructively. The nature of Sha Wujing becomes a golden body arhat, precious and steadfast like refined gold. And the willpower of the white dragon horse ascends as a heavenly dragon protector, forever guarding human faith. When the mind becomes firm and luminous like diamond, the golden headband on Sun Wukong's brow disappears on its own. At that stage, self-discipline is complete. No external restraint, no imposed rules are needed anymore. Journey to the West is truly a timeless mirror. At every stage of life, when we look into it, we discover a different lesson meant precisely for us. The pilgrimage for the scriptures was never about finding a distant paradise. It is about refining ourselves, becoming better versions of who we are, realizing that when inner demons are extinguished, the place where we stand right now is Mount Ling. Thank you for walking with me to the end of this journey. Leave your thoughts in the comments so we can explore even deeper together. Goodbye until we meet again.